From Maplewood Field at Malden Catholic High School in Malden, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's Game 4 of the 2018 Intercity League Semifinals between the Blue Sox and the Alibrandis, with the Alibrandis leading the best-of-5 series 2-1. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story, and the Blue Sox in a unfamiliar position, facing elimination. Last time they faced elimination and had to win 2 games in a row to stay alive was 2 years ago, and that was in the first round against the Somerville Royals. They lost the first game, but then Drew Lienhoutz pitched a no-hitter in Game 2, and then they came away with the win in Game 3 en route to the second of their current string of 3 Intercity League championships. The last time they had to come back from a 2-1 deficit and ended up winning a series was in 2009 against the Andre Chiefs. That was in the championship series, and they were down 2-0 in that series. The Blue Sox up against it here against the Alibrandis, who look to advance to the Intercity League Championship Series and prevent the Blue Sox from advancing to the Championship Series for the first time since 2006. And they've got a tough assignment on the mound in order to do that. It's Sean Sullivan for the Alibrandis, who pitched a complete game win in his only appearance in the postseason thus far against Reading, and that was on August 12th in the series clincher. Sullivan went, again, a complete game, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. A much different lineup for the Blue Sox here in Game 4, with Aaron Barboza to lead things off. That's not different, but there are 3 new players getting starts in this series, including the man on deck, Morgan Brown, who has had a good series off the bench, but is getting his first start. So Aaron Barboza to lead things off in a must-win game for the Blue Sox. Needless to say, pitches outside for ball 1 at exactly 8 o'clock. Barb's got his first action of the series last night and was phenomenal. 1 hit and 2 at-bats plus 2 walks and RBI. And he's ahead of the Alibrandis starter here, 2-0. On the inside corner, 2-1. Sullivan back in the count. Lineup is the exact same for the Alibrandis, and we'll run down the lineups in a little bit. This is chopped up the middle. Coming over is the second baseman, and safe is Barboza. With an infield single, as the second baseman, Barrett, could not get the speedy Barboza, and the Blue Sox have Barboza on base to begin the ball game. He goes on the first pitch. The throw down to second is not in time. Juba is not happy with the call. David Lightbody is coming out to the mound, and the Alibrandis are absolutely not happy with the call. Hard to tell from this angle, directly behind home plate, but Juba may have a point. So here's Morgan Brown ahead 1-0 in the count. Had the grand slam that sealed the victory here at Maplewood. And a throw back to the mound. Bounces out of the glove of Sullivan. Brown again with the grand slam in the win Friday night. Sullivan delivers. Swing and a miss. And the count is 1-2 to Brown. 3 for 4 with a run scored this series. Swing and a miss! And the bat goes flying out of Brown's hands and nearly decapitates Jeff Vigers in the on-deck circle. So 1 out. And that'll bring up Jeff Vigers. Big Z, 2 for 10 on the series with 1 run scored, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. The full lineup for the Blue Sox: Aaron Barboza in right, Morgan Brown in second, Jeff Vigers behind the plate, Taylor Ferguson in center, Dorian Rojas at first, Richie Burgos at third, Julian Alvarez the DH, Ross Curley at short, and Dominic Zaire in left. 1-0 the count to Jeff Vigers. He takes down a Wade. It's 2-0. Time is called by one of the infield umpires. Lineup again for the Blue Sox shaken up considerably here for Game 4. It's win or go home for the Blue Sox. The pitch, chopped to the right side. Waiting on it is Gronkowski. He calls off the pitcher and steps on the bag himself. 2 down with the runner at third now. Juba, the field general for the Alibrandis. Be smart, open base, 2 out. And that'll bring up Taylor Ferguson. I'm sure as far as the Alibrandis are concerned, the inning should be over. Full windup, and the pitch is a grounder to the right side. Waiting on it is Barrett. He fires on to first, and nothing comes of the single and stolen base for the Blue Sox. After half an inning, Blue Sox nothing, Alibrandis coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So again, the Blue Sox getting the leadoff man aboard, but not able to bring him home. And they've been plagued by runners left on base this whole series. Left 10 on base while scoring only 1 run, despite 6 hits and 6 walks last night over at Lexington High. And here's the lineup for the Alibrandis. It's the same as last night. Juan Parra leading it off in right field, followed by Michael McGuire in center. Teddy Juba is the catcher. David Lightbody is the DH. Bobby Barrett is at second. Gordy Gronkowski is at first. Jamil Moquette is in left. Matt Henriksen is at third, and Mark Odessa rounds out the lineup at short. And on the mound for the Blue Sox is Game 1 starter Alcis Herrera. Herrera lost a war of attrition in Game 1. Pitched out some tough jams, but the Alibrandis ran his pitch count up, and that eventually led to him surrendering 3 runs on 6 hits in 4 innings while striking out 5, taking the loss. Alibrandis in the bandbox that Maplewood is, hoping to strike early and often in advance to the Intercity League Championship Series and claim a 9th consecutive league championship, although they're first in the Intercity League. This is, I mentioned it talking with Raymundo last night, but this is what I think people expected with the Alibrandis coming into the Intercity League that they would be an immediate contender for the league title. It didn't start out that way. They were middling in the bottom of the standings with fellow new entrant Malden, rather. As this is grounded up the middle and through for a base hit on the first pitch by Juan Parra. The Alibrandis ended up winning 7 of their final 9, with the only losses to Lexington and Melrose, to ride into the postseason on a hot streak. Of course, the Blue Sox were on a hot streak coming into the postseason as well, winners of 9 straight. As Bobby Barrett grounds this one to the right side, past the diving second baseman Brown into right field, and the Alibrandis are in business, picking on the first 2 pitches and getting runners at first and second with nobody out. Well, the Blue Sox, of course, had that long layoff with the weather delaying the end of the season and the first round of the playoffs, and with the Alibrandis, a well-oiled machine, they've kept on playing, and sometimes you think that'll be a detriment in a postseason series, but they're in game shape, and the Blue Sox have not been, as that misses inside with the slider for ball 1 to Teddy Juba. Juba, a .278 hitter on the postseason with 6 RBIs, second on the team in that category. 2-0. You got to challenge him here if you're Alsace. He misses inside, and it's 3-0. He's in danger of loading the bases with nobody out for David Lightbody. The 3-0 catches the outside corner for 3-1, and now Juba will go to work. Parra at second, McGuire at first. Excellent speed on the bases in case Juba hits a gapper. He reaches for that one and fouls it off, and that'll fill the count at 3-2. That looked like ball 4 from here. The 3-2 pitch to Juba. And here it is. Reached for and popped foul. And that'll hit on the protective netting above the Blue Sox dugout. Seventh pitch of the at-bat upcoming to the veteran Juba, and now he calls time. The 3-2. Here it is. Strike 3 called. Great job by Herrera to come back from 3-2 down. Not much argument there from Juba. Front door slider. And here is David Lightbody, and you know he can put 3 runs on the board in the blink of an eye. .350 hitter with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs on the postseason. And he goes after the first one and comes up empty for strike 1. The Blue Sox MO offensively the last couple of games has been work the count. They got both Tangi and Jensen to throw over 100 pitches in just 5 innings as that swung on and missed for strike 2. Last 2 games. But the offense was stagnant, with the only exception being the 6 runs that the Blue Sox ended up scoring only in the 5th and only late in the game. In Game 3. There was the 1 run that the Blue Sox scored to get ahead 1-0, but that seems like a non-factor, really, when you leave 10 men on base in a must-win Game 3, and now the Blue Sox up against it here. Herrera ahead of Lightbody 1-2. Outside 2-2. Close enough to make Lightbody think about it, but it was definitely outside. Chopper down the third baseline and foul. The Blue Sox have actually outscored the Alibrandis in this series. As this is ground to second, could be 2. Brown underhands to Curley for 1. On to first. Safe! Lightbody legs it out. That was a bang-bang play. Fielder's choice goes 4-6. But the inning remains alive as McGuire is retired. And that'll bring up Bobby Barrett. 300 hitter with 1 double, 1 homer, and 7 RBIs on the postseason. Lightbody dancing off of first, and the pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. And that catches the inside corner with a fastball for strike 2. Herrera in a tough spot. He got out of a bases-loaded jam in Game 1, but at what cost? I'll tell you that cost. He ended up giving up 3 runs the next inning. Pitch is fouled off, and it remains 0-2. The count to Barrett. Tied for the team lead in stolen bases this year, and he swings and misses at a slider down and in. And Herrera does another escape job, and the inning is over. After 1 complete, Blue Sox nothing, Alibrandis nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. As I was mentioning, the Blue Sox have outscored the Alibrandis in the series 9-7. But they trail in the games 2-1. And that's all that matters. This is not soccer. It's not aggregate. You got to win the games. Dorian Rojas getting his second straight start at first base tonight. Will lead off the top of the second. Dorian looking for his first hit in 5 at-bats. And he skies this one into center field. Back goes McGuire, and he will take it in just short of the very shallow 335 marker in center field for out number 1. There's a little more drama on balls hit to dead center in this park than there are most others. So that'll bring up Richie Burgos, who gets to start at third base tonight. And Burgos, after the one pitch out, takes all the way on a curveball on the inside corner for strike 1. Burgos also looking for his first hit, 0 for 7, but has drawn 4 walks. He grounds this one to the left side, and Odessa can't come up with it. And there is Richie's first hit. It comes with 1 out in the top of the second of Game 4. That'll bring up Julian Alvarez. First start of the series as the DH. 2 for 7. And that's in there for a strike. 0-1. 2 for 7 on the series with 2 runs scored and 3 walks. Breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 2. That looked like a hittable pitch. But at the same time, you don't want to ground to an inning-ending double play and have him throw only 5 pitches in the inning. When, as I said, the MO for the Blue Sox offense this series has been work the count. Of course, Anthony Del Prete didn't have his count worked much in Game 1. Threw just over 40 pitches in 4 innings for the win in that game. Fouled off at the dish. Blue Sox have to win 2 in a row to advance to the Intercity League Championship Series. They are wearing the camo jerseys, which is the same jersey they won Game 2 in on Friday night here at Maplewood. You don't need, I mean, if you have watched baseball even half as long as I have, as this is chopped down the third base line, they won't get 2 here. Barehanded by Henriksen, and he bluffs the throw to second as Burgos overran the bag, but he gets back and an infield single for Julian Alvarez. But as I was saying, if you've watched baseball even half as long as I have, and I feel really ancient saying that, you know that baseball players are among the most superstitious creatures on the planet. Next, and the only people that compare, baseball announcers. Here's Ross Curley. He grounds this one to short. Could be 2. Underhand to second for 1. And they won't get it. Barrett couldn't handle the toss. Everybody is safe on the E4, and the bases are loaded for Dominic Zaire. Zaire has been a spark off the bench. He's getting his first start of the series, 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And he takes a front door curveball inside for ball 1. Zare takes at the knees, strike one. One and one the count. The pitch, swing and a miss. Zare got tied up inside, and the count goes to 1-2. Burgos at third, Alvarez at second, Curley at first. Inning could have been over on a double play, but there was an error, and this is smoked into center field. Back goes McGuire, he leaps, and he can't come up with the ball. I don't know how many runs are going to score here after they had to hold up to see if he would catch it. Only one will score on one of the longest singles you'll see. Burgos scores, and it is 1-0 Blue Sox. That's also an advantage about Maplewood in that if you have a play like that, there isn't much more room for the ball to roll away from the center fielder, and so everybody played station to station. Lineup turns over for Aaron Barboza. Single into stolen base. His first time up, but he fouls that one off for strike one. Barboza takes on the outside corner, strike two. Still only one out in the inning, though. Outside, 1-2. I'm not sure if Burgos' run would be called unearned. I feel like they would have had Curley with a perfect turn. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and away. Big strikeout there for Sullivan. His second of the game. 2 down for Morgan Brown, and the last time he had the bases loaded at Maplewood, well, he hit his first ever Intercity League home run, regular season or postseason. He never hit a home run in all his time with the Arlington Trojans. And that misses outside for ball one. Brown, with that one home run, with that one grand slam, leads the team in RBIs this series. He had a pitch to handle there, but it got a little too far inside, and he fouled it off for strike one. When you see a hanging breaking ball at your belt, you definitely want to try and crank it, but unsuccessful there. A little too far inside, and he got jammed. Alvarez at third, Curley at second, Zare at first, 2 out. Fouled off. Blue Sox took a 1-0 lead last night, but that was all they got, and left 10. They don't want to leave 3 here in this situation. In an elimination game for them. 1-2 the count. Sullivan winds and delivers. Breaking ball misses high. 2-2. A cutter or slider there that missed high. The 2-2. Again high. So the runners will all be moving on this one. Possibly a pivotal pitch here in Game 4 coming up. The payoff pitch. Chopped down the third base line, but it will be fielded in foul territory by Henriksen. And he's lucky it was foul because the throw was offline to Gronkowski, and that would have scored the run. So pitch number 7 upcoming for Brown, who struck out swinging his first time up. Runners will be in motion again. The pitch. Into foul territory on the right side. Gronkowski giving chase, and it is out of play. Last time we had a play like that down that line here at Maplewood, I thought it was a foul ball, but Thomas Russo actually made the catch. And that's why broadcasting from here is a difficult task. Pitch number 8 upcoming. It's going to wear themselves out running with these pitches if Brown keeps fouling them off. And that brushes him back and nearly hits him, but it's ball 4, and in comes Alvarez to score on the bases-loaded walk. It is now 2-0 Blue Sox. Got to throw something competitive, but that must have slipped out of Sullivan's hand early. Now Juba going out to have a word with Sullivan. And the 8th man to bat in the inning will be Jeff Vigers, who grounded out to first his first time up in the first. And here are the Blue Sox grinding away at bats again. And there's ball 1. Vigers takes down and in, 2-0. Two runs home, 3 more on the bases. This is grounded to the right side. Gronkowski has it. He'll have to underhand to the pitcher covering Sullivan, and he gets the out that retires the side. The Blue Sox leave the bases loaded, but they do take the lead on 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. After 1.5, Blue Sox 2, Alibrandis nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Hey. So this is the first time this series that that either team has scored before the 4th inning. 1 run was unearned in that inning, and here's Alcis Herrera delivering to Gordy Gronkowski, ball 1. Gronkowski batting .211, 4 for 19 with a double on the postseason, and that's a strike. 1-1. So 1 unearned run in that sequence. in there for strike two. The ruling was an E6, not an E4 on the play that allowed Curley to reach on a fielder's choice. The 1-2 just missed the outside corner, 2-2. Herrera working exclusively from the stretch. And the pitch. Slider misses up and away, 3-2. That had some good snap on it. Nearly came back to the high outside corner. But from 1-2 to 3-2 for Gordy Gronkowski. Here it is. Popped up. And that's not an out, sadly. We're not playing basketball. "27 pitches in that second inning for Sean Sullivan. And again, there you go with the Blue Sox grinding out long innings against the Alibrandis. They get 2 runs out of it. Could have had more. Down and in, ball 4, and Gronkowski works a walk. So for the second straight inning, the Alibrandis have the leadoff man aboard. That'll bring up Jamil Moquette. Moquette 1 for 9 with a walk on the postseason. And Moquette pops this one up, foul and out of play for strike 1. This is grounded to the left side. Curley over to Brown for 1. On to first. Double play! The Alibrandis couldn't turn an inning-ending double play. The Blue Sox turn one there to clear the bases with 2 outs. Here's Matt Henriksen, 2 for 18 on the postseason with 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. Outside for ball 1. "30th pitch of the game upcoming for Alcis. And it's on the inside corner for strike 1. It's a pretty good strike percentage. 20 strikes, 10 balls. 67%. This is into right field. Barboza makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. After 2 complete, Blue Sox 2, Alibrandis nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 4 left for the Blue Sox. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left for the Alibrandis as we begin the top of the third with the middle third of the order due up for the Blue Sox, Ferguson, Rojas, and Burgos. Ferguson grounded out to second his first time up to end the first. Sullivan delivers and snaps a curveball in there for strike 1. 40th pitch of the game for Sullivan is swung on and missed. He has a really good feel for that curveball, it seems, and it's 0-2. He's been throwing it a lot. 40 pitches, 27 for strikes. This is into left field. In comes Moquette, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Leadoff man retired, and that brings up Dorian Rojas, who flew out to center on the first pitch of the second, his first time up. Blue Sox have found success when they work the count of the Alibrandis pitchers. Rojas wanted to bunt his way on, pulls back, but it's a strike, 0-1. High strike, and it's 0-2. Rojas reaches for that one, grounds it up the middle. A couple of bounces, spin throw by Odessa goes way wide of the bag, and Zuba has to field it in front of the facing of the Alibrandis dugout. That'll be an infield single for Rojas. So Rojas and Alvarez, 2 power hitters not known for their speed, have each picked up infield singles this game. Here's Richie Burgos, singled and scored the first run last inning. And he takes at the knees for strike 1. Blue Sox dugout doesn't like the call. A very vocal Blue Sox dugout throughout the series, even when they've fallen behind. Front door curveball, strike 2. That's been the bread and butter pitch for Sullivan thus far. Sullivan looks at first, comes set, and the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3. It's the third strikeout for Sullivan. And Sullivan's gone to an 0-2 count to each of the first 3 hitters this inning. Got Ferguson to fly out, and then Rojas, and that tough bounce infield single. Burgos strikes out. Let's see if Alvarez... He grounds this one to the left side and through for a base hit. He's not waiting around. He picks up the 6th Blue Sox hit of the game. That'll bring up Ross Curley. So 10 pitches, all for strikes this inning for Sullivan. Curley reached on a fielder's choice on a play that should have been an inning-ending double play, and that's what allowed the 2 runs to score later that inning. Curley skies this one into left center field. McGuire makes the catch on the run for the out that retires the side, and the Blue Sox leave 2 more runners. They've stranded 6 through the first 3 innings, and after 2.5, it is still the Blue Sox 2 and the Alibrandis nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. If the Blue Sox are not going to advance in this series, or if they do advance, they're going to have to do a better job of cleaning it up. But if the Blue Sox are not going to advance from this series, the primary reason will be the runners they've left on base. They've left 16 through the last 10 innings of baseball in this series. Mark Odessa, the number 9 hitter, to lead things off here in the bottom of the third, and then the top of the order, Parra and McGuire. Odessa with the open stance, and he fouls this one off for strike one. He and his brother Mike are longtime veterans of the Boston Amateur Baseball circuit, played for the Testacourt Bombers and the Melrose Americans, among others, in the Intercity League, and, of course, played for the Alibrandis in the Hockey League before they came to the Intercity League. High bounce to Burgos. He'll soft toss to first, and the throw is a little offline, but Rojas will hug Odessa with the tag for out number 1. Lineup turns over for Juan Parra, who is 1 for 1 with a single. So Odessa, who was batting .250 to that point, 4 for 16, with 3 runs scored, is retired. Parra may be the MVP of the playoffs if the Alibrandis can win it all, as he swings and misses for strike one. He's now 10 for 20. He's now 10 for 23 on the playoffs. One other game going on right now in the playoffs, and that's Game 4 of the semifinals between Watertown and Wakefield, with Watertown leading that series 2-1. And we'll check the ICL Baseball Twitter feed to see if there's any updates on that. Up and away, a waste pitch there by Herrera, 1-2. 9-0 Watertown after 2. Okay. That was after what, a 14-3 or 16-3 win in Game 2. Watertown exerting their dominance on Wakefield in that series for sure, and they are looking to get to the Intercity League Championship Series for the first time since 2010. Watertown's pitching is probably the best of the teams remaining, and they are likely going to claim, as a swing and a miss for strike 3 with a changeup, they are likely going to take home the Intercity League's top pitcher award. Things hold up. They're leading the postseason in team batting average at .371, and they're third. And it seems silly that they're third at .309. The Blue Sox are actually leading the league in postseason ERA at .167, but those belie the dominance, the performance by the teams. Those respective teams, 1-0. Certainly that batting average doesn't belie Watertown's performance this postseason. 1-0 the count to Michael McGuire, who singled and was retired on a fielder's choice in the first. Strike evens the count at 1-1. Misses the outside corner, 2-1. But yeah, Matt Horan, I think, is going to be the unanimous pitcher of the year of the Intercity League. He went 8-0 with a 1.27 ERA and 67 strikeouts in 60 2/3 innings. 3-1. And the reason Watertown has such good pitching stats is that they don't use relievers very often. Joe Chiodo lets his guys go as long as they can. He doesn't really have a quick hook like you would expect in baseball today. He has the utmost confidence in his pitchers, and they reward that confidence to the utmost degree. Full count to McGuire, trying to get on base for Teddy Juba, who's on deck. But he will not, as that's a called third strike, and the inning is over. Alcis is up to 4 strikeouts on the ball game, and after 3 complete, Blue Sox 2, Alibrandis nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night, if necessary, Game 5, the decisive Game 5 of the 2018 Intercity League semifinals between the Blue Sox and the Alibrandis. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. That Watertown score I gave you, 9-0 after 2, there was no score after 1. Watertown muscled up for 9 in the second, in the bottom of the second. Dominic Zaire continued his hot streak with an RBI single in the second. And he fouls that one off for strike 1. Zaire has not been retired in 4 at-bats this postseason. Four for 4 with 3 RBIs. And his defense, well known, but his offense coming into full bloom here when it matters most. 1-1 the count to Zaire. Swing and a miss. Zaire thought that curveball was going to hang, but it dropped at the last moment, and it's 1-2. Zaire and then Barboza and Brown due up here in the top of the 4th. He lines his one to the left side. In the hole, it's Odessa. High throw, and he's safe. Zaire is now 5 for 5 on the postseason. Not much argument from the Alibrandis. It was a bang-bang play. I could have seen it going either way. But here is Aaron Barboza, possible sack bunt candidate here. Wouldn't necessarily be a sack bunt with his speed. And Henriksen in from third. He does square but pulls back in time to see that one sink low for ball one. Barboza 1 for 2 with a single, a stolen base, and a strikeout. Inching off of first is Zaire. Fouled off, and it's strike one. Zaire did not attempt a stolen base in the regular season, but he's got good speed. 1-1 the count. At the knees, strike two. Barbs was looking that one in the whole way, and he got the bad news. He's behind 1-2. He chops this one down the first base line, and Gronkowski tags him out as Barboza tried to slide around him and tag first base, but it was unsuccessful. It basically works as a sacrifice, even though it's a G3. Zaire into scoring position with one out, and that'll bring up downtown Morgan Brown. Drew a bases-loaded walk his last time up, his 5th RBI of the postseason. He swings and misses. Oh and 1. Brown is going to, Sullivan. Well, he's going to throw that curveball until the Blue Sox prove they can hammer it. Case in point. 1-1 the count. Good block by Juba. Infield playing back here. Swing and a miss. There's that curveball again, 1-2. Blue Sox have yet to really muscle up anything. All their hits are singles. This is skied into right center field. On his horse is McGuire, and he will dive, and he can't come up with it. Around third is Zaire. Brown is around second, and he will hold there with an RBI double, and it's 3-0, the first extra base hit of the game for the Blue Sox. And Morgan Brown's second extra base hit. Zaire and Brown trade places. And here's Vigers. The Blue Sox have scored first in each of the last 3 games. And Vigers gets a good bunt down the third base line. It stays fair, and now they've got Brown in a hot box between second and third, and nobody's at third! And in the process of sliding, Brown picked up the bag. Picked up the third base bag. You can't tag me out if I've got the bag in my hands. So here's Taylor Ferguson trying to race an 0 for 2. And you might see Vigers run here. Stay out of the double play. Nobody warming yet for the Alibrandis. That could have been a curveball to hammer, but Ferguson taking all the way for strike one. 1 run home this inning, and another 2 runners on base. Brown at third, Vigers at first. This is grounded to the left side. Odessa to second for 1. Turn to first, double play. And Sullivan gets out of it with minimal damage. The double play goes 6-4-3. 1 run on 3 hits and 1 left. And after 3 complete, it is the 3.5 rather. We're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 3 and the Alibrandis nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Blue Sox leading 3-0, but they've got 9 hits and have left 7. So the door's still open for the Alibrandis. Heart of the order due up for the Alibrandis: Juba, Lightbody, and Barrett here in the bottom of the 4th against Alcis Herrera. .43 pitches through the first 3 for Herrera. 28 for strikes. And he misses inside with a 2-seam fastball for ball 1. At the standard lefty arsenal for Herrera: 2-seamer, slider, changeup, 4-seamer. Not necessarily in that order. Misses inside, 2-0. Trying to saw off Juba here. Juba struck out looking after a 7-pitch at-bat. His first time up in the first. Three and 0. Inside for a 4-pitch walk. That's the second walk issued by Alcis. Second leadoff walk, in fact. And here's David Lightbody reaching on fielder's choice his first time up in the first. And he fouls this one off for strike 1. Lightbody in the regular season was the .325 hitter with 4 homers and 21 RBIs and an OPS of .994. He checks his swing, and he went around, says the home plate umpire, and it's strike 2. Juba at first, not a threat to run. This is grounded to the left side. Curley will charge, will go to second for one. On to first, safe. Another bang-bang play at first. We've had a lot of those tonight. So light body aboard on a fielder's choice for the second time. And here is Bobby Barrett. 5-tool second baseman. Struck out swinging his first time up. And that misses inside with a slider for ball one. Light body in the regular season attempted one stolen base and was successful. One and 0 the count, runner at first. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Fouled off. That evens the count at 1. Again, 3 runs, 9 hits, and 7 left for the Blue Sox. Feels like business as usual in this series. Get some runs, but not nearly enough. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. Maybe it will be enough if Alcis keeps pitching like this. Manny Del Carmen is fresh in case it comes to a save situation or a jam late in the game. This is grounded to the left side. Burgos scoops onto second for one. Bobbled there and bounced down the right field line. It goes into foul territory. And Barrett's around second. He's on his way to third. So it's a fielder's choice and an E4 that puts Barrett at third. Could have easily been a run, could have easily had a run scored in that situation because it was a hard time for Brown handling the ball at second base. He almost didn't get the out there. So runner at third, 2 out for Gordy Gronkowski, who drew a walk his first time up in the second. So Herrera, in his first real bit of trouble since the first inning. And he gets Gronkowski to swing and miss for strike 1. The Blue Sox were also very slow in getting to that errant throw by Brown. Another swing and a miss by Gronkowski. Couple of sliders downstairs. We go for the hat trick and try to strike out Gronkowski and strand that first run of the game for the Alibrandis at third. The pitch, up and away, 1 and 2. Tying run is in the on-deck circle for the Alibrandis. So Gronkowski just needs to worry about getting on base. Give maybe Jamil Moquette a chance to keep the line moving. You don't think of Moquette as a threat who could crank one over the wall for 3 runs, but Alcis just has to get this out here. He's got a base open, but again, that would put the tying run coming to the plate if he were to let him on. This is grounded to short. Curley bobbles it! And the Alibrandis are on the board. It's 3-1. Routine grounder there for Curley. And that will bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Jamil Moquette. E6, no RBI. Moquette grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his first time up. And he grounds this one to short. Curley, chance for redemption, underhands to second. Also redemption there for Brown as the inning is over. 1 run, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. And after 4 complete, it is the Blue Sox 3 and the Alibrandis 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Dorian Rojas to lead things off here in the top of the 5th, to be followed by Richie Burgos and Julian Alvarez. 3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left for the Blue Sox as that misses down and away for ball 1. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 3 left for the Alibrandis. Rojas ahead 2-0. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Tied him up inside there, and he fouled it off for strike 1. Strike gets in there for strike 2. Sullivan looking to pick up his 3rd strikeout, and he does. That curveball is keeping the Alibrandis in this game. They've gotten 1 run back. And here is Richie Burgos, 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a strikeout. This is an inside-out swing at a shallow right, and that will get down for a base hit. So Burgos, with some good strength to turn an inside breaking ball the other way and into a base hit, and he's 2 for 3. So Burgos picking up his first 2 hits of the postseason to go along with 4 walks. That's a pretty impressive on-base percentage. And the fastball gets on the outside corner for strike 1 to Julian, who's looking to make it 3 for 3. Singleton scored in the second, singled in the third. 1 extra base hit for the Blue Sox this game, as that's inside for ball 1. Blue Sox have 4 extra base hits on the series, and 2 of them are by Morgan Brown. Fouled off, and Julian behind 1-2. One and two, the count to Julian. Breaking ball misses high, and that nearly went to the backstop. Good save there by Juba. 2-2 the count. With the short backstop, it usually prevents runners from scoring from third, but going to second might be a different story. Just outside with the fastball, full count. This is how the Blue Sox had their success this series, working deep counts. And Julian grounds this one to the left side, cut off by the third baseman Henriksen to second for 1, on to first, not in time. That looked like it was destined for left field and a base hit. Henriksen came out of nowhere to take that away and retire Burgos, and there are 2 down as the fielder's choice goes 5-4. They nearly turned a double play, too. So here's Ross Curley. 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice in the second and flew out to center in the third. Fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Blue Sox picking up their 10th hit of the ball game. Bluffing off of first is Alvarez. This is into center field, and McGuire makes the catch. And the Blue Sox get into double-digit hits, but still cannot push another run across. After 4.5, it is still the Blue Sox 3 and the Alibrandis 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for the Alibrandis here in the bottom of the 5th. Matt Henriksen, Mark Odessa, and Juan Parra. Henriksen 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. This will be pitch number 60 for Alcis. And he misses outside for ball 1. 60 pitches, 38 for strikes. A little above 60% with his strike percentage as he blows a fastball by Henriksen to even the count at 1. The Blue Sox have 10 hits and have left 8. And if that's your stat line, you really should be winning by more than just 2. You really should have more than 3 runs. But the Blue Sox have left 18 runners on base over the course of the past 12 innings of baseball. Changeup misses down and away, 2-2. This is grounded down the first baseline and foul. Blue Sox